I'm Joel Goller from Kozlov Architecture, so I'm chair.
Fantastic.
Bianca Scope from Cooper Scope, so I'm a fellow regional practitioner.
Fantastic.
Mick Maloney from Maloney Architects in Ballarat.
Oh, great.
It's Maggie from Regional Rebecca's.
Yeah. Quite the jury. Have you had some good chats to that? Or?
It's fascinating.
Yeah,
That's great. It's a real
big
privilege.
spread of, typologies and scales.
And the regional prize, is that just open to anyone, obviously, as it states regional? Doesn't sort of
No,
to
it's-
an age group or anything?
It's exactly. It's,
Based on location.
it's a location of the project, not the practice.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Well, if you're ready, we're ready. Should we get into it? Oh, maybe just
I
explain
didn't really
it.
show them already.
Oh,
We're
no.
around to-
You're ahead.
Yeah, I'll signal out to them when they want to show.
Okay, done. Thank you.
Brilliant.
All right, thanks for having me, everyone. My name's Tim Burney from Dawn Architecture. I'm here to present Murrin, the First Nations business, retail and arts hub in Geelong, located on Wadawurrung country. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging on the land we currently stand, Wurundjeri land, and also Wadawurrung country on which the project is based. So the client is Narramilli. Narramilli are a non-profit organisation founded in 2018, and the name means to dance in Wadawurrung, and their mission and purpose is to nurture business opportunities for First Nations people across Australia. First Nations people have been successful in business for over 80,000 years through trading, agriculture, ceremony and other actions. Yet barriers still exist today, access to education and training, racism, discrimination, and other areas like health and wellbeing that make it difficult to establish businesses. So Narramilli came to me with this idea for a multi-purpose hub, and this idea whereby they mentor and train First Nations people, the products and services that these people produce then get sold in the retail store. There's an art gallery for First Nations artists to display their work. There's a retail cafe for new employees to upskill and learn new skills. There are co-working areas and meeting areas from which they generate an income, and this income goes back into the business. So it's this idea of a circular economy. The site's located in the Geelong CBD on Wadawurrung country. It's close to the train station, close to the waterfront, it's part of Westfield, and it's close to Deakin University. The site itself is on the ground floor along Mallet Street. It's roughly 50 metres long by 10 metres wide. And lucky for us, they're doing a green spine development there currently, which is a bit disruptive during construction, but it'll look great soon. It was an existing bike shop, and it was in a bit of a state of disrepair. And so Westfield handed it over looking like this. Essentially, it's a blank canvas for us to work with, and there's a small step up in the site, which we have to negotiate. Moving on to the design was it was a result of working with the First Nations advisory group, and me being non-Aboriginal, there was a lot of listening and workshopping ideas and walking through the space, and I was led by them through the whole process and during construction as well. But the real light bulb moment came when we had this idea of a circular point of sale and a circular meeting room at the other end. Cormac Evans, who was the CEO of Narramilli at the time, did this sketch that you see on the right here, literally connecting the dots. And the wavy lines is the journey, the flow of water between. And this basically led the design from here on in. It was quite inspiring. And this is the layout of the space. So it's been divided into two zones. The entry is on the bottom left, or the main entry, which is a retail store, like the gift shop. And then as you move through the space, you move through the art gallery to the cafe to get a coffee. And then a screen separates the business zone from the public zone. Here's a floor plan. It's a very open plan. All the services are pushed to the back. There's a portable art walls, loose furniture, and an operable wall allow the space to be adapted for different events or as needed. And here's an isometric, just showing the connection to the street. So we've got it's about 50 metres of street frontage, which is great. Officeworks is across the road, so it's good for stationery. But yeah, it's fantastic in terms of natural light. It doesn't really need lighting during the day, but it's well lit at night if we need. And here's a zoom in of the public zone. So yeah, entry in to the left here is the retail area, the art gallery and the cafe. And on your right, the more business-focused areas, so the co-working zones, and then meeting rooms towards the back. And negotiating the step there with a rock garden and a ramp and an amphitheatre. And here's a picture of the space. So yeah, materials and colours reference country and the Australian landscape. We kept it really restrained because we wanted the space to have the sophistication and embody an excellence. That was really part of the brief, for an aspirational, inspirational space. It was really uplifting. Just some details here, but I'll move forward just because I've run out of time. Here's the round room, which Narramilli Advisory Group referenced to the Scar Tree, which is a sacred tree in Wadawurrung country. But architecturally, it's made up of two semicircles connected and rotated on 15-degree axis to allow entry into the space. And just some construction photos. So we put down a 70mm screed to fix the existing slab, which was out of level, and allow us to run and hide surfaces underneath. I hand selected the spotted gum ply veneer, the board from board panels, and the builder kind of laid them out on site individually, and we hand selected each one. So ones with fiddleback, we managed to do in a long run, and yeah, the outcome's amazing in the sense that the picture on your right is the finished product. You can't see the stitching between the panels, it's quite uniform. It just goes back to that idea of embodying excellence. Some joinery units, the cafe, the point of sale, the amphitheatre here, which is dealing with that step. And I learned how to panel beat as we were doing the project. And leftover plywood, a friend and I made some furniture for the space, so we did the co-working desks and conference room desks, and that's all in spotted gum as well, just to keep everything uniform. This is the round room here. We had Gerard Black, a local artist, stencil and artwork. He's also did all the branding for Murrin, and it became a real community thing whereby Narramilli team came in and I helped out fill in the artwork. Okay. This is my favourite slide from the whole presentation. It just shows all the groups coming together. Here's the Narramilli team 2 days before opening, fitting out the retail store. And then this is all of us late at night, I think the night before open, just finishing the artwork. Bottom right, we have family, friends, and even walkers by, and Narramilli, of course, hand washing rocks and carrying them in for the rock garden. So the rocks from the garden supply place came really muddy. We tried taking them to the car wash, hose them down with a gurney, but they didn't clean up very well. So we had this way of bucketing in water and hand washing. And yeah, anyway, Gomez is actually here today. That's there's some photos from El Carter. That's the exterior, and you can kind of see the journey through the space. A view from the art gallery looking both ways, so the retail store on the left, the art cafe on the right. And yeah, there's a lot of floor space, so yeah, it's easy to navigate your way through. And there's some little quiet areas for contemplation, but also some, lots of areas for gathering. Okay, co-working desks on the right. Here's the sort of the co-working desks here, looking back to the entry. And on the right, the operable wall, which separates the two conference rooms, which can be opened up. We've had a few events. There's been lots of events there already. The opening day, this is a Narramilli team on the right. Dan Sultan played there a month ago as a fundraiser. That was a sold-out crowd of around 200 people, which was a great event. And here's the last slide, which just shows the events that they have from day to day or week to week in the space. So Kitty's the current artisan exhibition there. And then I have networking events, weaving workshops and whatnot, and that's my presentation.